Hello students, in this video we are going to learn how to play with your bishop, how to improve your bishop and make sure that your bishop is active and strong. Let's start. There are two kinds of bishop. First, good bishop and the second, bad bishop. If your bishop is blocked by its own pawn, then it's a bad bishop. For example, in this situation we are white. For example, in this situation, look at this light squared bishop. This bishop is blocked by its own pawn. So right now, this bishop is a bad bishop. But if you can put your bishop on a diagonal that is not blocked by its own pawn, then the bad bishop becomes a good bishop. For example, if you put this bishop on h3, now look, this diagonal is completely open. There is no white pawn on this diagonal. So white bishop is not blocked by its own pawns. So now we say that this bishop is a good bishop. Or you can also put the bishop on f1. From f1 also this bishop is open and now the bishop has become a good bishop. If we look at from the black side also, then this bishop is also a bad bishop because this bishop is blocked by its own pawns. So when the central pawns are on the dark squares and you have a dark square bishop, so your bishop is not active. Your bishop is hampered by its own pawns. If you want to make this bishop a good bishop, then you must put it on the open diagonal. So here you can play bishop to d8. Your idea is to go bishop to b6, and now look, this bishop is super active. Bad bishop has become a good bishop because no black pawn is blocking this diagonal. So when it comes to bishop, the rule is very simple. You have to put your bishops on the open diagonal. If you can manage to do it, then you will have a good bishop. Now let's look at the practical example. In this position, we are black and take a look at this bishop. Black's pawn in the center are on the light squares and black's bishop is also on the light square. So this bishop is blocked by its own pawns. If you want to transform this bad bishop into a good bishop, then you must get it on the open diagonal. And where is the open diagonal? This is the open diagonal. If you can put your bishop on this diagonal, then it will become more active. Or specifically, if you can put your bishop on e4, then it will also cover this diagonal. So a bishop on e4 will be more powerful than the bishop on d7. That's why here black played bishop to e8. It looks like that we are going back, but in the next move we are going to put this bishop on the open diagonal. White plays bishop to g4. White is attacking our e6 pawn. Black plays queen b6. Black defends the pawn and black is also giving a check. So after king to h1, now you can play bishop to g6. Look, this bishop has now become active. It is threatening opponent c2 pawn. Compare this bishop with this bishop. When the bishop was on d7, it was blocked by its own pawn. Now the bishop is on g6, it is active and open. White plays queen b1, white wants to exchange the queens, and now we play queen c6. We don't want to do that. We want to protect this pawn. White plays queen b5. Idea is simple. White is asking us to exchange this bishop so that in the next move, black can take on e6. So we don't want to exchange the queens and we come back here. White plays rook a2 because this pawn was under attack. Our bishop was attacking this pawn, so white has to defend it. And now we play bishop to e4. This bishop has become a monster. It is attacking on c2 and it is also pointing toward the opponent's king. And black is completely fine in this position. Let's look at one more example where we take a bad bishop and transform it into a good bishop. In this position, we are black and look at this d7 bishop. All of black's pawns in the center are on the light squares. That's why d7 bishop is a bad bishop because this bishop is blocked by its own pawn. If you want to activate this bishop, then you must find a way to put it on the open diagonal. Specifically, if you can put the bishop on e4, then it will become a super strong bishop. It will become a good bishop. So how do we take our bishop from d7 to e4? And the answer is, we play pawn to b4. We sacrifice a pawn. Our idea is we are going to put the bishop on a4, then we are going to put the bishop on c2, and then the bishop will come on e4. So a bad bishop will become a good bishop. White has two options. White can take on b4 with the bishop or with the pawn also. First, let's look at the bishop. If white plays bishop cross b4, then we play bishop to a4. Idea is to go on c2. After bishop cross e7, king cross e7, white plays rook c1 to stop bishop to c2. And now we play rook to b8. Black is putting a lot of pressure on b2 pawn, and white does not have a good way to defend it. So black is better here. That's why in this position white plays a cross b4. And now you play bishop a4. White plays rook a1. White wants to put his rook on the 7th rank, activating his rook. We play bishop to c2. Our threat is to play bishop e4 check, and in the next move we are going to take this knight. So white plays bishop to g3 and blocks the g file. And now we play bishop e4 check. King f2, and now look, this bishop has become so powerful. This bishop is on the open diagonal. Compare this bishop with this bishop. When the bishop was on d7, it was blocked by its own pawn, so it was a bad bishop. And now the bishop has become a good bishop because it is on the open diagonal and it is super active. Black plays pawn to h5. Idea is to play pawn to h4 and to trap this bishop. White plays rook a7. And now black plays bishop cross g2. White gives up his active bishop, and the reason is now we are going to win some material. White plays rook cross g2, and now we play pawn to h4. Black is forced to capture our pawn, and now we play rook cross g2 and we have won material. So black is winning in this position. Remember this rule: if you want to make your bishop dangerous, then you must put your bishops on the open diagonal. That's it for this video.